Oh, look at this. Oh, that is so creepy.
They say we have only explored 5% of the ocean, which means we really don't know what lurks beneath the waves. For centuries, we've heard folklore and sailor stories about mermaids, but we've never seen them come to life. Until now. In a world where the line between myth and reality blurs, we bring you stories of mermaid sightings that will send shivers down your spine. Sri Lankan mermaid. In 2021, locals rushed to a Sri Lankan beach because beachgoers had discovered a mermaid. The mermaid was stuck on the sand on her belly, her tail showing little movement as the men approached her. One of the beachgoers tried to see if she was alive by gently nudging her with a stick. And to their surprise, the mermaid jolted and hissed back at them. The mermaid had beached herself after the ocean was polluted to an extreme. She'd hoped to survive on land, but she wasn't suited to the environment and was slowly passing away. Jalpari. A mermaid was found in an undisclosed location somewhere in Asia. They kept calling the creature Jalpari, which translates to water fairy or mermaid. The locals had surrounded the mermaid and even covered its torso with a sheet. The mermaid kept flopping its tail as if it wanted to return to the ocean, but the way was blocked by the beachgoers. Bluestone National Park. Tourists exploring the Bluestone National Park resort spotted a mysterious human-like figure swimming close to their raft. Like most mermaid sightings, it happened so quickly they barely had time to register what it was. It looked like a fish, but let's replay it again. Check it out. It does look like a human head that bobbed up for a while, so I get why tourists thought it was a mermaid. Mermaid, Lake Titicaca. A group of Bolivian tourists were sailing along Lake Titicaca when a mysterious creature emerged out of the waves. It had a human-like head and was casually swimming in the waves. It was only visible for a split second before it dove back into the water. Initially, tourists thought they had come across a free diver or an ordinary sea creature, but when they reviewed the footage, a humanoid creature was clearly seen swimming in strong surf, where even the most experienced swimmers would face trouble. Its dive into the water also suggested it could breathe, which is unsettling. The tourists firmly believed they'd captured a mermaid. But what do you think? Mermaid body. It seems Florida has its fair share of unusual sightings, and this one blurs the lines. A beachgoer walking along the west central coast stumbled upon a mermaid body. The mermaid was perched on her back, her lustrous hair dry and intact. The mermaid's ribcage was clearly visible, and she had dehydrated to the point her tail was stiff too. This might just be the proof we're looking for, but we don't know for sure. What do you think? A real-life mermaid who beached on the shore? Or a cruel prank by late-night beachgoers? Mermaid in Puerto Rico. In the middle of the sea near a Puerto Rican beach, a mermaid was filmed sitting on a flat rock. The mystical sea creature was starkly different from what we've heard in stories. Although it had a beautiful tail, the mermaid had a skull-like face, weak limbs, and thin hair that split at the ends. The mermaid was bobbing her head back and forth, unaware that she was being filmed. But when she finally realized the situation, she immediately dove back into the sea to hide from view. Some claim the mermaid was real, but others are skeptical. What are your thoughts? Sirens. A ship was cruising along the middle of the ocean, and it was nighttime, so everything out there was dark and mysterious. A man aboard the ship was recording the creepy sight when he heard a shrill sound echoing through the dark.
What is that noise?
The sound was recorded on camera and can be heard clearly. The spooked man claims what we're hearing are sirens, mythical human-like sea creatures which allure seamen. But some have claimed this is just dolphins or other sea animals communicating.
I hear him. Where's he at?
But considering there have been many creepy stories about sirens by sailors, I'm not too sure what to believe. A mermaid up close. A video showing a mermaid corpse from up close shocked netizens when it was initially uploaded.
Done and
The tail of the mermaid was intact, but had lost its color.
yellowish brown.
And right above its end, you can see its spine sticking out.
Again, right now, this isn't the final color.
Even the torso of the mermaid had dried out, and parts of its bones were sticking out. The gruesome sight was concerning for everybody, especially since many believed it was a real mermaid. But it was actually just a dummy being prepared for a museum that would showcase mythical creatures. South African mermaid. Residents of Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, were left shocked when they captured a mermaid child. The child had an extremely realistic tail, which even had fins on the side. The merchild was unconscious, and the people who were crowding around him were trying to see where it came from. They were poking the merchild's tail, and although it was shivering in response, the child didn't wake up. Mermaid body at the beach. In 2012, an Animal Planet video shook people to their cores. Two friends were exploring a beach when they saw something moving in the sands. Assuming it was a beached animal, one of them got closer and tried poking it with a stick. In an instant, a ghoulish creature emerged from the sand and snatched the boy's leg. The two boys quickly ran away from the beach, horrified at their mermaid encounter. Mermaid after hurricane. After Hurricane Faye hit Florida in 2008, residents visited the beach to see the aftermath. But what they found left them speechless. Among the fallen trees that had drifted on shore lay a mermaid's body. The mermaid had either been pushed to the shore by the hurricane or had beached herself. Her body had dried out, and her scaly tail was stiff. Even her hands had shriveled, so her nails were sticking out. When the video was posted, many claimed it was edited, but analysis proved the visual was real. Some claimed the mermaid was a bad prank, but whoever recorded the video was never identified, and the mermaid has never been seen afterward, which prompts many to wonder if it was real. Mermaid in Wolf River. A group of people were fishing at the Wolf River in Wisconsin when something splashing behind their boat caught their attention. The splasher was gone in an instant, so the group could only guess what they'd seen. Most of them assumed it was a big fish, but when they reviewed the video, that sea creature had a rounded, dark head and a small body with caudal fins. It almost looked like a mermaid, but we're not too sure. What do you think? Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Mermaid skeleton in Black Sea. Two archaeology enthusiasts began digging up the Caraboa's Sahili beach, hoping to find unique trinkets and old pottery. To their surprise, they unearthed a skeleton. Initially thinking the skeleton belonged to a human, the two continued unearthing, thinking they'd made an archaeological find. However, the longer they dug, the more intriguing the skeleton became. It was unlike anything they'd seen. After digging out most of it, they were shocked to see the skull and the lower body. The skull had numerous spikes on its head. And instead of legs, the skeleton had a mermaid's tail. The beachgoers believed they discovered a real mermaid, but many say they placed a fake skeleton there and dug it up for views. Test 2008. In April 2011, a video caused pandemonium because it was an alleged recording of a secret test conducted by authorities. Titled Test 2008, the video featured a family exploring an unidentified aquarium. They moved closer to a dark display when out of nowhere, a ghastly mermaid-like creature appeared. It stuck its scaly hands on the display, scaring the family, and the video cuts there. Initially, many believed it was a secret project by the government in which they hid alien and mermaid-like creatures. Israel Mermaid. A team of Animal Planet was exploring Kiryat Yam in Israel when they spotted a mermaid.
That's a weird-looking seal, man. Are you filming this?
The mythical sea creature was sitting atop a rock, with sea waves crashing along it. Just as the crew noticed the sea creature, it whipped its head menacingly and quickly dove into the water.
What is that? Oh my God! What is that?
It happened so quickly, the crew had no time to react. Later, when the footage was released, many claimed it was a sea lion, but its slender body disputes this claim. Well, this is a mystery that may never be solved. Mermaid body. In perhaps one of the creepiest mermaid encounters, a beachgoer discovered the decaying body of a mermaid-like creature that had washed ashore at the Great Yarmouth Beach. With a humanoid skull and a spine that smoothly transitions into a tail, the skeleton of the mermaid severely concerned the people who had found it. The beachgoers initially suspected they were being fooled and tried to debunk it, but the skeleton looked way too real to be a hoax. It even smelt unusual, so most people were convinced this was a real mermaid that had washed ashore and passed away. What do you think? Real-life mermaid. A couple of years ago, a video took the internet by storm. In it, a mermaid-like creature was seen sitting on a deck near a lake. The location of the incident was never revealed, so people were perplexed. The creature had a mermaid-like body, but it was far from what most had seen in movies and books. As soon as the creature realized it was being filmed, it quickly dove into the water. A cover-up. A while ago, a video surfaced of two people dressed up in protective gear approaching a water body in Utah. They were seen heading into the water and dragging what looked like a merman out of the water. The bare-chested merman had a striking green tail. But before the mysterious recorder could get a closer look, the two unidentified yellow-hooded people placed the merman on a stretcher and disappeared behind the rocks. The video has since been removed, and there's no clues left behind. That's unsettling. Mermaid moving onto land. In this video, a mermaid can be seen struggling to climb some rocks. After the video surfaced online, many claimed it was a mermaid enthusiast dressing up as one to garner views. But since then, there have been multiple sightings in different places. The most recent sighting happened in Jamaica, when a passerby happened to come across a mermaid-like creature hiding behind the rocks. After seeing the mermaid emerge, the man moved back in shock. Indonesian mermaid. In 2018, people rushed to a beach in South Sulawesi, Indonesia, because some beachgoers claimed they had caught a mermaid. When they pulled it out of the water, it indeed looked like a mermaid, but not the ones we've heard about in stories. This mermaid had a leather-like hide and wasn't a seductress like you'd imagine. Locals were still convinced it was a mermaid because of its unique physique. However, after the video circulated, many pointed out it wasn't a mermaid, but a dugong, which is known for its mermaid-shaped tail and slim body. Croatian mermaid. In 2013, a man was about to take a dip into a local diving point in Croatia. He had stationed his camera so he could film the view and his dive, but instead ended up capturing something that looked eerily like a mermaid. The sea creature jumped out of the water and almost immediately submerged back. The man immediately stopped recording so he could review the footage. A slow playback revealed that it was indeed something that looked like a mermaid. Who knows? Maybe this is the proof we're looking for. Jamaica Beach. Here's another mermaid sighting, but this one has raised a few questions. The mermaid was spotted by beachgoers in Jamaica. Although it's easy to debunk most mermaid sightings, this one was swimming against the current. If you know anything about waves, you know that's practically impossible, and only a superhuman could do something like this. The mysterious creature's ability to casually swim in the strong currents is why many believe it might be a real mermaid. And who knows, maybe it is a real sighting. A Michigan sighting. The video of a real mermaid swimming underwater in Lake Mullet, Michigan went viral. Naturally, people were skeptical since it's the first video which has great quality and presents a clear visual. A while later, it became clear it was just a performer. But while she may not be a real mermaid, many praised her for being able to emulate the movements of a mermaid. The gorgeous mermaid quickly garnered attention for her effortless swimming, which is incredibly difficult to do. Mermaid caught on CCTV. A French diving instructor was working late when he heard splashes in the pool. He checked it out, but didn't see anything. The diving instructor then pulled up the security footage to ensure he wasn't going out of his mind. To his shock, a young woman entered the pool area and dove into the water. When she emerged, her legs had transformed into a tail, like a real-life mermaid. The mysterious woman had left the pool, and although many tried to identify her, no one knows who she is. Northern Michigan. A group of people exploring the river in northern Michigan were left stunned when they spotted a real-life mermaid flopping around in the water. Captured on camera, the mermaid moved forward, refusing to show her face. Now, any one of us can look at this and think this is the mythical creature we've all been looking for. But as realistic as she looks, this is not a real mermaid. This is Phantom, a professional traveling mermaid who frequently hangs by Michigan lakes and rivers, flaunting her silicone mermaid tail. Mermaid in Mallorca, Spain. A group of tourists sailing along the lake in Mallorca, Spain, saw a strange and mysterious creature sitting atop a rock. At first, they barely noticed the creature since it was so far away, but after an eagle-eyed tourist was able to spot it, they reviewed the video, and sure enough, there was a mermaid. The video was uploaded on the internet, where people immediately realized the mermaid had been edited in. However, the video has prompted many to believe in mermaids in general, since we don't really know what lurks in the oceans. Baby mermaid skeleton. A kid taking a stroll along a beach in Florida was checking narrow crevices just for fun when he found a tiny skeleton. It had a human skull, but the rest of its body molded into a tail and a fin. This skeleton evidently belonged to a baby mermaid. The boy who found it was quite shocked. He couldn't believe his eyes, but although the find made him a believer, I think it's just one of those weird trinkets you find at shops around Halloween. But who knows? Rosarito Beach. A family vacationing at the Rosarito beach in Mexico were recording the waves when they captured a unique creature emerging out of the water. The creature quickly dove out and back in within a few seconds, so the family had to look back at their video to check what it was. They firmly believed they filmed a real-life mermaid diving out to entertain them, but others who saw the video after it was posted on TikTok think that's not the case. The creature may look like a mermaid, but it's actually a dolphin hopping out to catch the sun. Mermaid at a local lake. Families swimming at a local lake were baffled when they spotted a mermaid coming up for air.
Look at there it is, there's the tail, see it?
The mermaid didn't seem concerned at being spotted, as she happily continued swimming even when people began recording her. Is this a real-life sighting? Well, unfortunately, it's not. The mermaid is actually a woman who visited the lake with her parents. She had bought a mermaid tail and wanted to try it out, but she didn't expect people would mistake her for a real-life mermaid.
Look at there it is, there's the tail, see it?
While she may not be a real mermaid, she probably felt like one. Fiji mermaid. In the 1800s, P.T. Barnum unveiled the Fiji mermaid. At that time, there was not much information about mermaids, so it captivated audiences and convinced many that mythical creatures might indeed swim in our oceans. However, years later, it was revealed the Fiji mermaid was an artful deception, skillfully crafted from animal parts. Its torso belonged to a monkey, and its tail belonged to a large fish. Fused together, the two made a convincing mermaid skeleton. Although everyone found out it was a hoax, this masterful blend of materials and taxidermy created a spectacle that, for a time, blurred the lines between myth and reality. Baby mermaid. In this video, someone is fishing out a creature from a river in India. When the video was released, locals claimed they had caught a mermaid. A claim like that would get anyone's attention, but when the video went viral, well, anyone can take a guess at what it really is. What kind of a mermaid has legs? This poor baby monkey had slipped into the water and was struggling to get out. Luckily, a good Samaritan rescued the monkey, and the rescue video was branded as a mermaid sighting. Mermaid corpse. A woman was strolling along the beach in Keppel Sands, Australia, when she spotted a humanoid figure covered in sand. Initially, she was too scared to check what it was, because she assumed it was someone's body. But when she got a closer look, that body had two leg-like figures merging into a tail. When she uploaded the picture, viewers were stunned. Some said it was a siren, while others suspected it was a dolphin carcass. Drone mermaids. A drone camera flying over Dana Point in California captured dozens of mysterious sea creatures driving out of the water. The drone tried to get close, but nearing the water could have damaged the camera, so it didn't. When the video circulated online, many people believed it was a standing proof of the existence of mermaids, because the creatures had slim bodies and looked humanoid. However, a closer look at the visuals makes it clear that this isn't some magical mermaid sighting, but a pod of dolphins happily swimming. Water fairy. In the 1500s, the city of Antwerp in Belgium was plagued by stories of a mysterious fairy-like sea creature that occasionally swam to shore. Frightened sailors boasted of spotting this fairy creature and claimed it was the closest thing to a mermaid. Of course, at that time, all they had to rely on was word of mouth, so most people believed it was true. Only centuries later did scientists finally figure it out. This mysterious fairy-like creature is actually a manta ray, whose skeletal framework makes many question reality. Pacific mermaids. A man was flying his drone over the Pacific Ocean when he witnessed a peculiar sight. In the middle of the ocean, surrounded by vast nothingness, a mermaid was seen swimming. The mermaid seemed to have noticed the drone and was staring back at it curiously. The video cut off before we could see anything more. But let's rewind. Notice here, this isn't a mermaid. She clearly has legs. Now, I don't know what this woman was doing so far from the shore, but she's clearly testing out her mermaid fins. Mermaid Melissa. Someone on vacation captured a real-life mermaid calmly resting in a shallow pool. The blonde mermaid was resting on the bank, with her tail emerging out of the water. The mermaid didn't seem to notice whoever was behind the camera and was merrily splashing her fins. Now, you might think this is a legit mermaid who made a magical appearance and then mysteriously vanished. But this is Mermaid Melissa, an internet personality who dresses up as a mermaid and entertains people. And to think, we almost believed she was a real mermaid. Copenhagen Museum. Throughout history, sailors often spoke of encounters with mermaids during their voyages. And considering Copenhagen, Denmark, is where the original Little Mermaid fairy tale originated, we have to believe the city is truly connected to mermaids. In the Copenhagen Museum, there are various skeletal displays of mermaids. Some of these displays go back centuries, while others have been recreated to fit mythical tales. Here is one such skeleton. Just look at how unique it is. According to the description of the display, this skeleton was discovered by a farmer and his dog, and is believed to be real. Mermaid in Michigan. A couple of kids excitedly recorded a mermaid swimming somewhere in Michigan.
I found the mermaid!
As the kids beckoned their parents, the mermaid swam calmly, as if she wasn't bothered at all. Of course, the kids thought the mermaid was real. She's often spotted in various lakes and water bodies around Michigan. But you've probably guessed by now that she's not a real mermaid. This is also Phantom, that same woman we saw before. Now, you might think she's being deceitful, but anyone can tell she's not a real mermaid. She likes doing this to excite kids who still believe in a magical world. Oldest mermaid sighting. We all know someone who claims they saw a mermaid back in the old days, but we've never believed them because where's the evidence? Well, someone released an old footage in which a mermaid can be seen swimming. The footage was claimed to date back 75 years, suggesting this might be the oldest mermaid sighting caught on camera, and even a real one. However, many claim the video is fake. Some have pointed out it's CGI made to match older times, or just incredible editing skills. Mermaid on drone. A young YouTuber was cruising the ocean through his drone when he spotted a mermaid swimming between rocks. If you missed it, here's a closer look. The mysterious creature certainly has a streamlined body, but it very well may be a dolphin or another sea creature. However, just as the drone got closer, the creature moved lower, until it was a blurry speck, and then completely vanished, confusing the drone owner. Sadly, the drone couldn't get lower, otherwise it would fall. So we don't know whether the creature belonged to King Triton, or was simply a fish looking for food. Submarine mermaid. It seems Animal Planet has seen its fair share of mermaids, in one of the most popular sightings yet. A crew working with the channel was exploring the ocean when their submarine encountered a terrifying mermaid. The mermaid only appeared for a few seconds, but during this short time, it hit the submarine with its hand, and the sight was captured on their camera. The crew was later invited to numerous interviews, where they claimed their sighting was real.
Well, I looked at it and I just knew I was looking into the face of another intelligence, another species like us.
But a couple of months later, it was revealed this was an attempt to lure viewers back to the channel, and the footage was actually fake. Mermaid skeleton. A TikToker was taking a stroll along a US beach when he found something unusual.
What the hell? What is that, Mom?
At first, he thought it was just a fish skeleton. It's not unusual to find fish skeletons since it's quite easy for a fish to be washed up on the beach. But when he picked up the skeleton, he couldn't believe his eyes. The skeleton was fish-like, except it had ribs and a humanoid head.
What the hell is that?
What is happening?
It was extremely small and looked like it was too young. The TikToker firmly believes he caught the skeleton of a baby mermaid. And I've got to say, even I'm a little convinced. Diving mermaid. Australia isn't a stranger to unusual creatures, so hearing about a mermaid discovered in its oceans doesn't sound like a hoax. A diver exploring Australian waters was recording his experience with his underwater camera. He was interacting with a school of fish when the diver spotted something move in the back. Thinking it was a shark or a threatening sea creature, the diver remained still, and to his bewilderment, a real-life mermaid swam across him. Ever since the video has been uploaded, the internet is divided. Some say it's fake, while others think it's proof the mythical sea creature exists. And honestly, even I'm not so sure anymore. Skeleton display, Denmark. The Copenhagen Museum is home to many mythical artifacts, including what many believe are real mermaids. The skeletons of each mermaid are unique. Some are propped up in style, while others yet are laid back to give a clear display of their features. But the strangest thing about these displays is that many of them are believed to be real. Some historians have studied the skeletons in detail and claim they're real. But of course, we don't know whether that is true or not. But the museum's mermaid exhibit gives us an insight into what ancient sightings must have felt like. Old archive recording skeleton. Here's a deeper look into the mermaid skeletons displayed in the Copenhagen Museum. This one supposedly belongs to a young creature, perhaps one aged 4 or 5. The merchild on display owns a long tail, which is lined with bones and has a dried, hard fin at the end. According to the museum, in 1830 in Scotland, this mermaid passed away after a human child threw stones at it, and its body was laid to rest, only to be displayed in a museum years later. However, such stories are mere folklore, so we don't really know what happened. This photo was uploaded to multiple social media websites, with no clue whom it belonged to or where it was taken. In the picture, workers from a construction crew stand next to the body of a mermaid which had washed ashore. The mermaid was unlike anything we've seen in movies or folklore. Its tail resembled the back of a scaled dragon, and the fins were pointy and flaky. Now, I know you've been wondering about its origin, but I did an extensive search and couldn't find anything. My guess is that this photo has been photoshopped, and although I don't know who did it, I'm sure this was a trick to fool people into believing mermaids are real. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.